Hey, so this is episode 1, part 1, and in this episode I'm going to show you how to make something very simple, something that you'd see in almost any type of tabletop wargame, and I'm going to show you how to make mountains. By mountains, I mean a flat plateau covered in a green flock, or whatever flock you choose, and to give that mountain look, all the edges are, all the sides are flanked by cliffs, ragged, jagged cliffs. Now, it's not really a mountain in the shape. As you can see, it's flat, but it obviously has to be that way unless you're playing a certain type of game so that the units can stand on them. But it's mountainy enough, and of course you could always build them in sections and put more and stack them up and give it more of a mountain appeal. But for the game I play, and I'm sure for most other games, you probably require a flat base. So let's get started. Alright, so basically the mountain is made of pink foam, which is this stuff's called Foamular, and I got it at Home Depot. I think Lowe's sells Dow, which is blue, and but it's just pink insulating foam, and it's big. You can get it in like 2 foot by 8 foot sheets for about $14 for the 2-inch thick stuff, which is what I'm using right now. 2-inch thick, and they sell it in other thicknesses, ½ inch, inch and a half. I think they'll go up by ½ inches until I think it hits 4 inches. I think that's the thickest it gets. But I've never seen any of that stuff. Anyway, but 2 is good enough. I guess if you're working a larger scale, you might want to try to see if you can't find 4-inch. Maybe that'd be better, or if you could always just stack it together, this 2-inch stuff. Regardless, so basically what you want to do is cut out a rough shape of what you want the mountain to be like. Right? I've already cut out a rough shape so that you don't see me struggling on camera. Because I gotta get a new knife. This thing's way too short to get through 2 inches. And basically right now I'm just gonna start just shaving it down, and it's just I'm gonna shave it down and just get kind of a nice shape. Get rid of all the dings in it that comes manufactured in. At the edges of the foam board pieces, one side has like a point in, and the other 2 sides have a point out. And I guess that's so that way you can fit them together like kind of like a puzzle. So you gotta get rid of that. So just basically carve it out. Now that the jagged edges really actually aren't that hard to make. You don't actually sit there for God knows how long trying to get the perfect edges and whatnot. But basically what you want to do now is just get a nice edge, cut it in the right shape. You want to get it as flat as you can. You don't want it to be angled too much. Unless you have to actually see how your game plays the rules of your game. So otherwise, oh jeez, what am I doing? Where was I? Yeah, so unless your game plays a certain way, which you should always try to adapt your terrain to the rules. But the rules that my game plays, hills should definitely have a defined where it starts and where it ends. That should a flat, straight up, flanked walls and cliffs would be most beneficial for this type of terrain. So actually, you know what? I think I'm going to get rid of all this because it's completely screwed up. So I'm going to get rid of this section. And basically we're just going to carve it out, get a nice shape that we want. And then After we do that, we have to sand it down and get it rather smooth, and then we'll mess it back up again and get it all ragged. Alright, so we'll open this back up in a little bit. Alright, so I've done all my carving and I sanded it out. Okay, so here's what I have now. Okay, it's got a few other little, but that's on purpose, of course, so a few other pieces and edges where let it stick out. So basically, now, oh, one other thing, after you sand it, you will see, I'll show you, it does make quite a mess. Okay, this is a big mess all over. That's all the stuff I cut out, and this is all sanded. Okay, and there's still some, you can't see it, but there's still particles over there, so you might want to take a brush, if you haven't, just lightly brush it over, try to get any of the dust. I'm not going to really worry about it now. So what you do next is you find your hobby knife, which is somewhere over here. Okay, so you take your hobby knife, whatever knife you have, I use this, and to get those edges, what you want to do is just take your knife, where am I in the camera here, and you just want to strike and draw your knife through, make some nice vertical lines all through the edge. Right, make shallow cuts, deep cuts, vary it up, okay, and make them short, make them go halfway down, make them go the full way down, make them go diagonal a little. You probably make horizontal cuts, I really don't. If I want to have any sort of cut-ins, then I'll just do it like this. So I just stick to really vertical cuts, and just basically just go down, cut out, and I'm only going to do this one edge, and I'll finish it up. So you could, just do all your cuts, deep ones, short ones, like I said, and you're just going to do that all around all the edges. And once you've done that, you just basically take your thumb, and it might be a little hard at first, and your thumb's probably going to get tired eventually, and mine always does. And you just basically rub it down. Finger in there, and you're just going to, come on there, just take it out, and you'll see that you're going to get a really nice natural forming edges. Now, you're not spending, this takes like 5 minutes per side, depending on how deep you cut in and how, if it's going to come off easy for you. Right now it's giving me kind of a hard time. But, let's see if I can show you now. Apparently the light reflects on this pretty well. You can see, still haven't gotten this, the camera's like a mirror. You can see it's starting to get an edge. Alright, it doesn't look like much now, but as soon as I go around and I fix it up, and you'll see, it's going to start coming out looking like flanked clips. Alright, and it's going to make a big mess. So I would, you should definitely do it someplace where it's easy to clean up, a desk or a floor, like a concrete floor, easy to clean up. You can get a broom in a pan, and have a vacuum too, because especially in the sanding, because the particles are dangerous. All right, it's not just spray paints and glues and vapors you have to worry about. It's dust too, wood dust. This stuff, it can get in your lungs and be a health hazard. And I'm working in like a 9x10 room, so I got one window, and yeah, I've had some. I do. I don't have the best workspace, but all right. So I'm gonna close this down, finish this up, and then we'll see what I get. All right. So I only got about a minute left to show you what I've come up with. Okay. So here it is, the final product. All the edges around. Let's see. I'll get it in there. I'm gonna do this in like about a minute. Also, I do I cut around the edge up top here, and I flick it down so that way it doesn't like hang over almost like an awning. So the next step is to just paint it, and that'll be in another episode. So see you then.